So I'm just going to start this recording here, and then we'll do my intro. We'll do tacos up. I will drop off. You guys will go into the slides, and then I'll come on at the end so everybody can take a bite, and we'll do our salutations and call it good. All right, let's get started. I got to start this stopwatch, so if there are any edits, I know what time I have to go in. All right, and 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, welcome to Tacos Now here on a Taco Tuesday. I hope you're having a fantastic beginning of your week. You can check this out on Facebook at Promo Corner's Facebook page, at Promo Show's Facebook page, and our good friends over at freepromotips.com. They share it over on their page as well. It does come out on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of every month, so make sure you check it out right here, right where you're at right now. It's Tacos Now. So this is Tacos Now with Jay and Jeff. Boys, how are we doing?
Woo! We are fired up, Brandon. Every day's a great day, and it's a little special because we have a wonderful guest. It's Taco Tuesday. Pretty much every day is Taco Tuesday for me, but that's another show for another day. Jeff, what's going on?
Well, I'm excited about this show and our guest from an amazing company, and every day is a good day. When we have tacos, you know, tacos make everything better, right?
Amen, brother.
I agree. And I love it when we get to bring people onto the show because they are the sauce on the taco. And I didn't know that you could buy sauce from Taco Bell in jars like this. I have now purchased it by the case. So if you own stock in Taco Bell, you will see an increase because I will be buying this like crazy.
That's absolutely awesome.
So you don't have to get the little packet.
Exactly.
There's not enough in the packet.
It in there, it's the worst. So let's go ahead and get up our tacos up now for the gram and for the thumbnail. And as always, I've got the piñata. We got some real tacos, therapy taco.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Burke's rocking the real deal. Ooh, he's going deep.
Get in for the
nice.
Early. I love it. On Tacos Now, there are no rules. And speaking of which, we do have a fantastic guest. The boys will get into it. While this is a recorded show, go ahead and put your comments and questions and replies or whatever you want to in that comment section. I will personally be live in there during the show. So I'll be typing right in there with you. But I will also join these guys here at the end for a nice little salutation and wrap up. So boys, enjoy, and we'll see you at the end.
Love it. Thank you, sir. What a kind intro that was. And just enough time for Burke to swallow down that big bite of taco. Burke Buchanan from Vernon, you are our rock star super. Let's see if I can get this right. You are the grand master of all account executives at Vernon. Did I go too far?
It's on my business card, but don't claim that status.
Well, listen, we're thrilled to have you, Burke. Thanks for joining us for Tacos Now, and we can't wait to dive in on some of the great content that you were so kind to share with us. As you know, the purpose of our show is to catch people doing epic work in our industry, catching the branding and the marketing and the things that matter, the purposes behind which we do what we do. It was not hard to profile and find some of this epic work. Jeff, did you see it in the preview? You were pretty blown away, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I learned a few things, and I've been told not to ask more questions about the sea.
Listen, this is how
oceanography, because Burke's in Florida. Like, there's a lot of water around Florida, the ocean, right? So anyway, we'll learn more as we go ahead.
That is exactly right. I knew it was going to be great because you were like peppering him with questions, wanting to know the rest of the story. So we had to hold Jeff off a little bit. Burke's going to have a great reveal. And so what I want to do, though, Burke, is as you probably have seen before, we'll share my screen so we can get a start here. And as I've already announced, you have an affiliation. You work with the Vernon company. Is that the right way to say it? The Vernon.
That's the way to say it.
Okay.
Vernon's been around since 1902, so it's like.
And that's 1902, not 2002, right?
That's 1902.
That's a big deal. And I think people need to remember that. And I know Vernon does a really good job of messaging that legacy counts and it matters. And I can't wait to talk a little bit more about that, because the next slide I have really does start to set us a little bit of a vision, a little bit of the why behind Vernon. And they even have this on their website, Why Vernon. And I know that they bring great support, and they have help you achieve your results. I know that the work that's done behind the scenes, I've gotten to know a little bit because of Dave and because of other great folks that are there at Vernon behind the scenes working hard in Iowa. But tell us a little bit about what you do and why Vernon means so much, because I know there's a really cool story behind this.
Yeah, well, people sometimes ask me, how long have you been with Vernon? And I can literally say since birth. I've been with Vernon technically since 1992, but my father was with them since 1964. And my grandfather started with Vernon in 1951. He was
Wow.
he was working for Sears Roebuck and answered an ad to go work for the Vernon Company in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Didn't even have a driver's license, so he would take the bus to downtown Tuscaloosa to make calls. And
Unbelievable.
and he moved on up in the company. He was with Vernon for 47 years.
Wow.
And my father joined in 1964. He was with Vernon for 37 years in management and that sort of stuff. So I sort of grew up, even as a little kid, seeing my grandfather with his Pioneer balloon kit so I could get the punchy balloons and all sorts of cool products that I just remember seeing all that and being enthralled with it. And more than anything, as I grew up and with my father and everything like that, I just noticed my father always had time for me and his business. He was not like my other friends' parents who had to go punch a clock or worked out here, worked out there. He worked from home. He always had his office and that sort of thing. And so it's like all those unpaid benefits was really appreciated by me as I came to grow up into sales after I came out of college and stuff like that. And so I always, in a way, knew I wanted to stay in this industry and work for Vernon, because I've seen what it had done for our whole family from, that's sort of what brought me to Vernon in the first place. But it also gives me a bit of an inside appreciation for Vernon, because Vernon, it's still family owned. It's still, we have more of a family atmosphere. For example, our incentive trips, it's like we all go together. The people who win it, it's like my friend's family.
It's like a family reunion or something.
It is. It really is. And so that's something that people can really appreciate. You have that freedom of being self-employed, but also the security in that family atmosphere of a workplace environment, even though you can work from home or whatever like that. So that's why when people ask me, how long have you been in the industry? It's sort of like, man, that's a long time, as long as I can remember.
Jeff, unbelievable, right? Third generation.
Yeah, well, what I want to really comment on, and I don't think it's ever really come up on the show, is this idea of the freedom that we have and how that was a positive impact on your family, that because, your dad was able to spend more time with you. And, Jay, you got what, 12 or a bunch of kids, right? And I have kids too. My son, it's like people say, well, are you going to go into your dad's business? And like, my son wouldn't touch promo products. I mean, it's like, it's just not, he's just thankfully in the field he loves, but at 25, but good point on family values.
For
and,
sure.
and I think we shouldn't forget the
it's like
freedoms we have in our industry.
Yeah, even now, my daughter is a college athlete, and she was in travel ball. My son, who is in orchestra and marching band and all this sort of stuff, being able to not have to, how many vacation days do I have left? I have to choose whether I'm going to do this or do that. I mean, with what we do, it's like I was the dad that was at all the travel camp.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I wasn't the soccer mom so much as I was the volleyball dad, type of thing.
I love that. Bert, way to go, man. That's so cool.
That's what you work hard for, is to be able to spend time doing the things you love. And so that's one of the good things about our industry is in some ways we're always working. In some ways we're never working. It's like we have a little bit of freedom to with our time, which is something that's very invaluable these days.
That flexibility is huge. I love that you brought that up. And that's a big reason why you are in our industry. You are officially one of the promo peeps, one of the apparel geeks, and apparently you're a Vernon freak, because I don't know if there's any other third. And I mean that. Yeah, I'm the taco freak, and when I say that, I mean it in a positive way, because I don't know that there are any other companies that have that kind of a third generation. So you can say, because I know there are watchers, viewers that are thinking about, well, I wonder if there's going to be a fourth generation. You can tell us at the end. Let's give them a teaser, and we can talk about that as we scroll through. But I do want to transition, because we have some excellent work to showcase, and I hope it's not too uncomfortable that we're going to brag about you and some of the work, Burke, but this is really, really good stuff. And thank you so much for sharing it. I immediately was able to identify with the hat. So I'm kind of a hat guy, I have quite a collection, and it keeps from revealing the thinning going on upstairs is why I really do it. But
automatic hair comber.
Also, because you and I share something in our sunshine states, people forget of the sun protection value that hats have. And so, that's another reason that people probably don't know that's another reason I do wear the hat, is to shade myself a little bit and keep the sun rays, because we live in Arizona, and you're out there in Florida, and it's true everywhere. But what a great program. And I don't know, forgive me for not knowing, but I see some consistency here. I see outdoors, I see nature, I see Florida. Tell us a little bit about what we're working out. Let's work left to right.
Well, a lot of this is all under different departments of the Department of Environmental Protection with the state of Florida, which the Department of Environmental Protection has a bunch of different areas in which they touch, and a lot of them have different budgets or have different goals that they're trying to achieve. Like, for example, with the Florida's Coral Reef, done a lot of stuff, everything from just bumper stickers to tote bags that they give out. Even when they had the Super Bowl down in South Florida, they wanted to help people be aware of the coral reef around Florida and the importance of protecting our natural resources and stuff like that. Even and sometimes it might even just be one island that they're wanting to bring awareness to for trash cleanup and stuff like that, where we did
Gotcha.
Some environmentally friendly products that they could turn around and give to volunteers who go to pick up trash. On the left, where you see the VR glasses, that was for that's actually, they were given to kids that were in in the hospital and stuff like that. So you can actually go through and visit some of these parks virtually if you couldn't be there in person, and to sort of, be able to go through and see some of these things, or go to swim the coral reefs and stuff like that. So that was done through we have different grant monies and different, marketing budgets and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That, it's one of those, because it is a state program. I mean, it's often a bid situation. So part of the challenge is finding the suppliers that could get the best deal and get them what they need,
Right.
what they need on time, and be very budget friendly for our tax dollars, and so that's the relationship you start to build with different divisions, is they know that you can do it and do it on budget too. So.
Yeah, they get the people like you that are consistent, have that delivery, you have the creativity, you understand budgets are real, and it seems like you're doing an amazing job here. I love the idea of the combination of the products, because obviously it makes a lot of sense. And I know a lot of people in Florida who've been, previous to a pandemic, those brandanas, those neck gaiters, those have been around for a while, right? Y'all have been using those out on the water for more than, I don't know, a couple of years.
Y'all, Jay?
Yeah.
Because he's in the South, you're going.
That's right,
in
Jeff.
the conversation?
There's room for y'all. So let's.
Right. We even have some words that have 2 apostrophes in it. Like, y'all are going to go over to, that's Y''AL''RE,
Yeah.
Y'all are,
Y'all. It's y'all are, and it's y'all are.
Y'all are heading to the coast this weekend.
Come on,
that
Jeff.
sort of thing, so.
Y'all are delivering epic branding. Yes.
That's right. So, but yeah, I mean,
where are we going with this?
Florida State Parks, for example, on the other hand, I mean, like the brandanas, it's definitely been a popular thing in our neck of the woods because of fishing.
Your neck of the woods, yeah.
That's right. And so outdoors fishing, that sort of stuff has been big. I have other good customers that are in even lure manufacturing and that sort of stuff.
I was just going to say, Burke, that's where I first noticed it was the fishing industry had been doing that, in the boating industry. Obviously the relationship there being on the water and as a sun protection device.
Well, that's one of those things, long sleeve shirts in Florida. You think, oh, is it? It's not for, it's for the summer. You know, is you get those long sleeve moisture wicking SPF 30 shirts is a popular item, just because that's what they want to have something that they're going to use. And so you have to think outside the box. What are they actually using? You know, so.
Yeah, well, I can tell you in Florida and in Arizona and anywhere like that in our sunshine states, sunglasses and these types of, you know, outdoor bandanas, neck gaiters, whatever you want to refer to it as, are useful. So, you know, even though the branding, I love the idea of that bandana, and you have a full, you know, print, so you can really get some coverage there. But great design.
The matching sunglasses, because you know, one thing that we needed to do there also, you want to keep them at a low cost, but also in Florida, you have to have polarized lenses. You can't just have, you know, your cheapo sunglasses. I mean, you can hand those things out, but I mean, as far as something people are going to use, polarized lenses are very important down here. So it helps you be able to see through the water, see your fish and that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, Jeff, where we talked about the utility of it, that it's actually something people need, will want, and will keep and use. So another great example.
We have it.
There you have it. Well, let's keep slick. We've got more to share. Can't wait. Burke, thank you. This was the one that Jeff wanted to know all about, because we were both like, what is going on here? Burke, tell us a little bit about the Urchin Roundup.
This was a lot of fun, because I mean, it wasn't like this was a huge volume order or anything like that. In fact, it was a pretty small project as far as total volume goes, but it's one of those, sometimes from a department, like I was saying, you get a reputation. Who should I reach out to for this event we're having? And so after you've been around long enough, you'll get a lot of people say, hey, you need to reach out to Burke. And this was one where they were telling me about this Urchin Roundup. And what it is, it's in St. Joe Bay in Florida, where we have seagrass is all our neck of Florida, I guess you would say, is called the Nature Coast. You have the Emerald Coast down towards Destin, Panama City, Pensacola. They call that the Emerald Coast. The water's beautiful. The sand is like sugar. And then you get to our neck of the woods is the Nature Coast, which is a lot more fishing, scalloping. You have seagrasses. It's not exactly the same type of thing when you think of beach. And so this area is very, very natural resource oriented as far as a delicate ecosystem. And so in St. Joe Bay, sea urchins eat seagrass. And the way St. Joe Bay is shaped, they're down at the end, these sea urchins were literally just eating all the seagrass. They were basically stuck down at the bottom of this bay. And you could literally go and see where it used to be just huge, say, prairies of seagrass, and then it's just nothing but sand, where they eat it literally to nothing. And so what we were doing is a roundup where with volunteers, we go and we collect the sea urchins from these areas, collect them, and we take them out to sea, because the problem is the way this bay is shaped, the tides don't take them back out to sea the way you normally do. And so that was the goal. And so they thought of a way to do that. And it's one of those things that originally they sent an email asking for, you know, your classics. We need koozies, bumper stickers, and key tags.
Right.
Okay. Koozies, bumper stickers, and key tags. And once you find out about it, it's like, if you're going to be picking up sea urchins, you got to have gloves, man. So why not do gloves? And we had the 4 different sponsors on there with NOAA, FWC, the Department of Environmental Protection, coastal management, that protecting the coast type of people all sort of pitching in on this. And then again, go with the laundry bag to put the sea urchins in, and you actually have that along with a an inexpensive bumper sticker to fit well within budget,
Right.
and have something that's a little bit more unique and appreciated.
I love
So
it.
I
think
actually went out and my wife and I actually went out and participated in the whole roundup, and it was a
I
lot
was
of fun.
just going to ask you that. Was it something that you were able to go and do? Jeff,
Yes.
I know you were excited about this. Are there any other questions that you want to ask Burke
Well-
about the Sea Urchin Roundup?
Well, I think the Sea Urchin Roundup is one of the most interesting campaigns we've covered on the show. It's interesting, gloves as a promo product. And I'm telling you, I can't make this up. My wife brings home gloves like that with our church logo on it, big C for Crossroads Community Church. And I go, they did promo gloves, and it was about we're doing days of giving and giving back, and it's about, you know, putting the gloves on and going out and doing things in the community and things like that. And I'd never seen that, and now I see it here with the Urchin Roundup. And maybe for our viewers, they might think, gosh, perhaps there's some cool branding messages that can be done via gloves, which is I think a little unusual. And I learned a bunch about sea urchins, and I'm glad you're just taking them a little further out so they're not
they
your
were
environment.
relocated.
They were
relocated. Basically,
relocated.
They're
It was
still,
tied in
they're
with-
still Floridians. They just have a new zip code.
That's right. It was interesting because FWC was there, and you know, they had when you got there, they had there's a tent that I've done for them. There's a bunch of other stuff that I've done for this, you know, as part of the aquatic preserves. That's what Florida Aquatic Preserves. They point you where to go, look for this big balloon and that sort of stuff, because they sort of like move where we need to do the job.
Got it.
And FWC is there. They collect all the ones we get. They measure them. They go through all the fun scientific stuff of checking how many of them are healthy, the size, you know, that sort of stuff. And then,
That's cool.
and there was hundreds of gallons that we had collected. So it was
Amazing.
and so they
How many, Burke, how many years is this the first year recently, or have there been multiple years now?
This was the first year, and that they did it like this, and I was involved in it. And so they had another one later that we did sort of follow-up items, sort of that could carry on with what they already did, because they got enough gloves to last for a couple of events.
Got it.
And the bags can carry over too.
Sure.
And so then we added like a cooling towel, you know, type of thing to with the same type of messaging, and you can sort of keep it going type of thing. And hopefully it's something that'll keep going.
I hope so too.
Cool.
It sounds really fun. It sounds like it has a mission and a purpose that people can really get behind and understand. And it seems like I don't know about you, Jeff, but I'm starting to see a perfect theme here. We talked briefly. It seems like there's a lot of outdoors, a lot of nature, a lot of conservation type projects. And I don't know if that's just near and dear to your heart, or if it's just some of the clients that you now serve, Burke, but it seems like a perfect union for you. It seems like a good niche for you.
It's fun to do something that you also feel like you're getting a return on what your investment is there. And return on your idea investment. That's the same thing with like the gloves, to continue with that. Jeff is another customer of mine that loves the gloves as a bank that they hand out. It's nice gloves, hurricane cleanup, follow storm cleanup, community events, that sort of stuff. It's such a nice item, and it's like it's the cost of a hat, but or less, and it's something that people are going to hang on to, and everything like that.
Right. I think our distributor audience, and it's always, you know, occasionally show it's kind of my focus to bring it back into how this is relatable to any distributor. And I think there is an opportunity here. I mean, every town has, you know, the cleanup events and things like that, and how you can put together a package of promo products to brand that event. And we know that people love getting swag. You know, we forget in the insanity of life that, you know, they're going to wear that t-shirt or the hat. And so I guess the encouraging word here for people is like, look for these opportunities for these events in your community. You know, you might be like Jay in a desert area and not have all this water. And, you know, I don't think there's no sea urchins there in the desert of
No,
Arizona.
Jeff, we have their cousins called cactus. They're also prickly and occasionally need to be relocated, but for a whole nother reason. I just love the fact, Burke, and thanks, Jeff, for saying that, because it is about how does this apply to our audience? And you're right, a service project, anything for these gloves. And we haven't talked specifically about gloves. And it's just fun to see where, Burke, we have a saying on our show, we go where the tacos take us. And in this time it took us to Florida, it's taken us to sea urchins. And now, specifically the connection of a project that was meaningful for the state and those that participated in it. So I love that, Jeff, you're able to kind of link all those things together and remind us of the purpose behind the branding, not just the product.
And again, going back to even that other one, Jay, is that if it hadn't been for a distributor like myself or like those that are out there who are doing the work, and my grandfather, when I first started with Vernon, and he had his self promos, it always had "Your Idea Man" on there. That it's about the ideas. It's not about the product. It's not like your customers like saying, "Man, I sure wish I had some sort of utensil with which I could lay ink on paper. So, hey, well, then I could get you a pen." It's not that. It's about the idea of it, So
you totally got me with that.
and the thing with the sea urchin people, if they'd just been going online and searching, it'd be the first whatever sale item that's stuck there on the front page.
That's right.
And how does that actually help promote the event? So that's where
it meets the minimum requirement, which was the investment that someone put in to find it online, not talk to a human, not be able to have the relationship with you, not be able to draw on your experience, not be able to draw on all of the wisdom that you have now 3 generations going, by the way. So it's an epic fail. Sorry for those of you who have online only tools. We're not really speaking to you. I mean, we understand e-commerce, we understand the power of online, and it can be a great help. But ultimately, what I just heard you say, Burke, was that it's the fact that you're building a real relationship with people to help them make a difference in their cause. That's something that's rarely going to happen with just a impulse buy online. Fair enough?
Go. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I didn't mean to get too preachy there, but love this show, man. We've got more to go, so let's do it. Hold it together, Burke. Hold it together. Let's not get carried away. Those sea urchins are tasty, by the way, too, Jeff. I don't know if you know that.
That's that California sushi for you.
I'm just kidding. I've never
a little
had
too
one.
prickly for me.
Yep. Okay. So this is also something that has come up on our show before, but I loved it because it's still useful. It's still important. And I think it's worth reminding, Jeff, we've had maybe 3 or 4 examples of this before, but they're still creative. They're still relevant. They're still necessary. And I think it was a real breakthrough for our industry to figure out ways. And you've heard me say this before, so forgive me for repeating that. In fact, Burke, you probably didn't know it, but you used the cliche earlier in the show and you said, think outside the box. This was an opportunity to think inside the box and create an experience inside the box and figure out a way to create something meaningful that's delivered to a person rather than just think of it as stuff we give away. To be able to connect these dots and to be able to make a difference in someone's personal space, whether that's safety items, whether that's new onboarding, new hires, whether that's reminders of marketing or events. So I saw this and I was like, I got to share this. I love the fact. Is that you? Is that your car or your van or your vehicle?
That is my wife's van that we were using to transport 1,500 boxes of stuff to post office for priority mail shipping.
What was the you don't have to tell us the exact client, but was there an industry that you were serving with this, and what was the point?
Someone who works, they work with municipalities around the country with software. It's a local Tallahassee company that was started small and has gotten really big, and you might have noticed. I mean, they work with laserfish, and so that's why they have the clownfish is one of their normal giveaways at events.
Okay.
They had not had any of these events. They hadn't been able to see a lot of these mayors and these different city managers that are the ones who are doing the purchasing for their product.
Mm-hmm.
And so we came up with this idea of a socially distanced gift that they could do. And you could see on my art person sort of edited their art to do the little clownfish wearing a mask.
Yeah, I see that.
I
That's
survived
great.
2020, so just, you got to have something that people are going to, like you say, it makes them smile,
It does.
It's, what we do in a lot of ways is a transfer of emotion. That's what a gift is. It's like that feeling. That's why you want to see them open the gift. It's like you want to see that feeling that they got when they opened it.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Jeff, write that down. A transfer of emotion. It's a gift. That better be in the show notes. Yeah. Brilliant branding by Burke. Is that enough alliteration?
That's right.
Wow, I loved it. It was emotional. It did put a smile on my face as soon as I saw the clownfish, and I was thinking, there we go again. We have this theme with you and you Floridians. It's all about that ocean life,
Fish and all the water stuff.
but it works, and it's so creative to figure out how a company. This is what I think you did. You helped a company that wasn't able to go do their on-site visits now continue to build their relationship, continue to share some happiness, some goodwill, build on those emotions, as you said, and remind them.
And it's a learning lesson for me too, because it's like one of the first real kitting projects that I had. We were pretty hands-on with it, and now you're seeing so many suppliers that are able to provide kitting services. That's like, for example, what we nearly did with this. I mean, there's a couple of items there from Snugs, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And Snugs was doing kitting, and we were talking about being able to have them do it all in-house and that sort of stuff too. So as now with a little bit more time and forethought and that sort of stuff, you're able to see how suppliers can help pick up a lot of the slack, and you don't have to shoulder the whole burden on yourself.
Right, right. Important point, Jeff, that relationship. How many times have we brought that up about the importance of communication and building relationships with your suppliers?
Right.
Beautiful work, Burke. This has been awesome. So I have reached the end of my slides. No, I haven't, but wait, there's more, because guess
This is
what?
like one of the best ones.
I know we saved the best for last, and we wanted to tease you with some epic work here, because you've got two different water bottles, two different projects, but they both were very visual, and that's why I wanted to show them. Again, outdoor, ocean, nature, water, aquatic, preserve, conserve, right? All of these touch points seem to keep coming up again and again, probably because of the clients that you're serving, but also I think it's just a lifestyle and being in Florida. So I think there's lots of lessons that we can learn from that. But tell us about these.
Another thing that it comes from, honestly, too, is referrals. A lot of people, if you do a good job for one person in one industry, I mean, I don't care if it's a plumber, if another plumber asks where did you do that what you're doing with those types of clients, and so a lot of this started with a few orders a long time ago. But if you doing a really good job for those people, they begin to trust you, and when they trust you, they'll refer you.
Trust, it's huge.
And that's how you build your business. I mean, is doing that.
Absolutely. Love the fact that you brought that up, the referral and building the trust. Jeff, remember when we were talking about the Suida and how grateful we were that they were able to provide for us early on in our early days? They also did a K2 tumbler that is one of the Base Camp line products. And then we found out, Bert, that your image on the right is also one of those. So tell us a little bit more about that one.
Yeah, I actually have what we ended up doing. This started with a 360 chisel for Florida State Parks, where we had about 60 different. Florida has over 120 state parks, and we did like about 65 of the biggest ones in a word cloud with it. And it was one of those that, someone got it and said, "Oh, I love this. I want to do it." And so again, referrals. One of this was with the Swanee River Water Management District, and what we ended up doing is, you can see here, it's like we ended up doing the whole map of the district, a whole county, with all the different rivers and roads.
That's
stuff
gorgeous.
Like that wrapped around, that they did as a gift for their employees. And then we also did some with the smaller version with little track names that go all the way around it. It's just very impactful. Suida was really easy to work with because there's a lot of detail in the artwork, and there wasn't art to begin with. So there was a lot of going back and forth trying to make sure that the Finn Holloway River was spelled correctly and
Good.
things like that. So
Chisel 360 is pretty cool.
Chisel
You know, you
360
can do
from
a lot
Sweden.
with an all-around laser branded laser imprint like that on a bottle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, think of the messaging and the theme and the graphics and the ability to do a map. I hadn't thought of a map, but that would apply at a Parks and Rec type environment. That would apply at any national, any state monument, anything in that family of, awareness of where you are in a map. That's beautiful. That's a given. I should have thought of it.
Yeah, I've thought of that. And also another good idea is like that you could do maps on like the microfiber cloths and stuff like that. If you're looking for something very inexpensive, that's also like for the trails in the city, or, again, I've gotten to where I do a lot of work with government agencies and stuff like that. And so again, what are they trying to brag on? And
Right. Highlight. What are they?
You help accentuate what they're trying to share with the community. So.
Well, Jeff likes to run. He likes to hike. He's in the outdoors too. So, I mean, I could see how this could apply to anybody in any state. It's a natural. It's a great program. It's epic branding, Burke. We're lucky to have you on our show. You did a great job. I knew Brandon was coming back any minute. I could feel him. I could just.
The hook is coming.
But the thing we have to know before we go, Burke, the burning question in all of our minds is, will there be a fourth generation?
The Vernon question.
Yes.
My son, who is I've tried to put him to work similar to how I was put to work early on, and because it's sort of like along the lines of from Prospect, and here he is in college, and it's like here I was like in Tallahassee, we have 2 universities, a community college who's a customer of mine, and a lot of students in our area. And so I was like, man, look at all of these student housing projects coming, all these, apartment buildings and Frog, the Lily Pad and the Seminole Manor and all these different places. And I'm saying, man, I bet they do all sorts of stuff for move-in gifts and things like that, and re-upping your lease and that sort of stuff.
Right. So
I sort of put my son on, hey, go harvest business cards for me, drop off these promotional items, so you self-promote.
Nice.
See what kind of prospecting you could do. I'll pay you $2 for every business card you bring in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then it's like here, a few weeks later, I say, hey, those pins I gave you with my name on it, oh, they're in my trunk. It's like, somehow it's like at this point, it's like he had better things to do.
The issue isn't the desire, it's the focus and follow through. And I can relate, because some days I feel like I'm 19 still.
Well, my son actually tried starting his own business during COVID, doing mobile oil changes, and where he'd go on site and change people's oil, rather because he was like, oh, he's working in a quick lube place, and he said, this is a great idea. It was a great idea. And but it takes a lot of work to start a business, but it was fun. It was even fun working with him there from learning the promotional items part of it.
I love that.
The signage that you're doing,
yep,
to the oil change sticker. And one of the favorite things that I did for him, I don't have a sample of it here with me, I should, but is Sharpie with his Breezy's mobile oil change on there. That it's sort of like when he'd write when it's time for your next mileage on his sticker and put it up on the window, he'd leave them with a Sharpie with his name and phone number.
Brilliant. I wonder where he gets this entrepreneurial spirit from, Jeff.
Well, it runs in the family there.
Apparently it does. It's in the blood. Burke, well, I hope that he can find his home if it's
he's going back to school in the spring, and
he's got time. We're not pressuring him.
Yeah, you never know. I'm still, like say, I'm not ready to retire myself yet either. So.
Hey,
you're a young man.
Who said anything about retiring? I'm not pushing you out. You look like you're about 34. We got lots of years on that.
Pretty much it.
There's a lot of tread left on those tires. Well, Brandon, I'm going to kick it back to you, buddy, because you're the rapper.
Yeah.
No, this has been fantastic. The way that you're able to get the messaging out. I mean, we talked about all the cool ways that you can imprint, and I talk about that all the time. But the message is cool. The imprint is cool. The impact is going to be amazing. So I think you've done it down there. And I hope everybody who is watching got that out as well. But it is tacos uptime at the end.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Burke, thank you so much for
Thank you
taking
for having
time
me.
out of
It's
your
awesome.
day, man. Like, you are the sauce on our taco, as Jay likes to say.
And it was spicy. Good job, Burke. We love it.
Spicy hot.
Thanks again. I love the third generation Vernon tie-in and all the great work you did. Phenomenal.
Well, I appreciate being here. Thank you so much, guys. And again, it's the ideas, not the products.
Absolutely. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for Tacos Now. We will see you on the next one. Boom. Good job.
All good?
Well
All
done.
good. One take
Good job,
wonders.
yeah.